So I have made a few mistakes with my van. I'm not perfect, and neither is my camper van. So I'm driving a micro camper. It is a Citroen Dispatch, and I've had it for 2 years now, and I've made some mistakes. The reason this curtain is actually closed is because I'm doing a little bit of a renovation back there to fix some of those mistakes. And I want to share them with you because if you're building a van, I've made mistakes so you don't have to, basically. And we're going to talk about them. So when I bought this van, it was actually partially converted already. And there was nothing wrong with it. It obviously served the purpose of the people who had it before me. And then when I got it, I just wanted to get going. So I did the last few bits I needed to do. And I just got on the road. I didn't actually think about what I needed, what was going to make sense for me on the road. I just did the bare minimum and I got going. But I learned over time that the van layout wasn't very efficient for me. I'd missed a lot of things that would have made my life easier. And now I have to do it all again. So let me save the trouble. And we're going to go through my list of mistakes. So my first mistake is just the general layout of the bed. I think a bed is such a crucial point of a van. And more thought needs to go into it. So when I got my van, the bed was straight along the back door and then it pulled out into a bed. You're going to see it on screen now. It's fine. It's so fine. But what I found was, first of all, when I was by myself, I was too lazy to pull it out. God, I'm absolutely wrecked now. I don't want to have to put it back in. And even when I was with someone, it was just such a hassle because the bed itself took up the entire floor space when it was pulled out. So if I was with someone and we had bags, we had stuff, we'd be trying to pull it out. The bags would be blocking the bed from coming out. We had nowhere to stand when it was out, and it was just a bit of a nightmare. Again, for weekends it'd be fine like that, but if you're trying to live out of a van full time, it's just not efficient. And what I learned was if I had put a lengthways bed along the side of the van that pulled out sideways like at a bit of an accordion kind of style, I don't know if that's what you call it, but that would have worked so much better for me. And that is currently what is being done in the back of the van now. And I cannot wait to show you the finished product, which will be in a video down the line. So follow if you want to see it. And in keeping with the bed layout, just the layout in general. So when I viewed this van, I loved that when you opened the sliding door, there was just this wide open floor space in front of you. And I thought that was great. I was like, oh my God, there's so much room in here to move around. What I learned from living in the van is that just wasn't the case. Yes, there was space, but it wasn't efficient. It wasn't functional space. Straight in front of the door is the cooker and the sink. But there's nothing in front of that except empty floor space. So when I'm cooking, cleaning, trying to wash up, I'm just hunched over the sink and my back does be absolutely killing me. You're standing there trying to cook for half an hour, but you can't stand up straight. So you're just bent over. And it's not good for your posture. It's not good for your back. And you know what? I'm getting on in years. I shouldn't be breaking my back like that. So while I had space, it wasn't functional space. And I never used any of that space. The only reason you would need that is when you stepped inside the van. But when you get in, there's nothing to do. You go and you sit on the bed or whatever. So it just wasn't great space. So again, I really sat down recently and I thought about, okay, I want to get back on the road full time. What kind of space do I need? What do I use this van for? What do I use the most? And I realized I'd need somewhere in front of my sink and cooker to sit down so I can cook properly. I need a different bed layout. And the way I've designed the van, there'll be less wide open floor space, but every bit of floor space that I'll now have will be used. And that's way more practical than just having floor space for the sake of it. You don't need an open plan van. You need a van that you can use efficiently. So that's a big thing I would recommend you do. And that's just to really think about your layout, draw out a few, but try and live the life you're going to have in the van in your head to see what you need before you fully decide on a layout. Because when I first viewed the van, I thought it was perfect, but it was not. Now again, lovely van. It was great, but it just wasn't perfect for what I needed it for. Now my third kind of regret is having 3 seats in the front. So again, when I viewed the van, I thought it was great because I have a tight-knit group of friends and I was like, great, I'm going to have room for a third person in here, which I thought was fantastic. It's not. It's just a waste of space. Again, space is crucial. I've had 3 people in the front, but not often enough for me to need an extra seat. The van only really sleeps 2 people comfortably. You could definitely squeeze in a third, but you'd literally be stuck in hot dogs in a can. What's the saying people say? Stuck together anchovies? Is that what people say? Anyway, you'd be stuck on top of each other. So like, I've only ever had 2 people sleep in the back, and I've only had 3 people in the front a few times. This just isn't needed. What I've realised is if I took this out, I'd be able to get in and out of the front so much easier, because when I park up at like a beach or somewhere for a few days, this is my home. I don't want people like seeing inside it all the time. But anytime I want to get in from the front to the back, I have to get out and get around. Now that might seem like a bit dramatic, like, oh, who cares? But if you're like parked up at a beach, you're like chilling, working in the van, it's a bit messy. And you've got like a family parked right beside you. Like, I mean, like this far away. And you have to open out the door to get out. They can see straight inside the van. I mean, like my clothes are around, my stuff. Like it might be messy. I might look like absolute shit. And I just don't want people like, it's just, it feels like that's you don't show everyone the inside of your bedroom. Do you know what I mean? Whereas that's what this is for me. So to have to always open the door and let everyone see in just feels like a breach of my privacy, and I don't like it. So I'd rather be able to just walk straight through. That's also something I'm going to change now. So I'm on the hunt for a new passenger seat. This middle seat's going to come out, and it's genuinely going to change so much for me. So if you have 3 seats in the front, maybe it won't bother you, but for me, it's a huge inconvenience. Plus, this extra space, I think I'll put a fridge here that will act obviously as my fridge, but as a little seat. So if there is someone like here for a while, they'll have somewhere to sit anyway, but it's just going to be so much bigger. Okay, you'll see it in my future videos when it's done. It's going to look fantastic. I can't wait. I genuinely can't wait. I hope I find a seat soon. Regret number 4. I bought the wrong type of sink. So if you saw my van tour, my previous van tour, I showed my sink. And what I did was I just got a USB chargeable water dispenser from Amazon. And they're actually really good. So I would recommend that kind of sink. You don't have to worry about a pump. It's just a simple setup. You have the dispenser, you charge it from USB-C, you stick it on, you put the pipe goes down into your water tank, and it does its own thing. It's actually so good. I do recommend them. However, I got the wrong type. Classic me. So all you need is the dispenser that is literally just a tap, and then the little pipe comes out the back and comes into your water tank. I stupidly got one with a base. I don't know what I was thinking. So basically now when I use my tap, it pours straight out onto the base of itself. It doesn't hang over the sink. And that, again, you might think, oh, it's not a big deal. Yes, it is. It's just a freaking nightmare. Just take my word for it. So again, just think about what you're buying. I think that probably would have been obvious to someone else. Clearly not to me. But don't get a dispenser with a base. Get a water dispenser that is just a tap, that hangs over the sink. That would be a starter. That's number 4. I do a lot of mistakes here. Now, again, with the layout, I just want to like revert back to that for a minute for step number 5. But it's not just the bed and the space. You need to really think about everything in the van. For example, a lot of the stuff, like I said, was in before I got the van. So my gas box was in already, but I added a safe and things like that. And with the current layout, you need to go outside to the back of the van to access the gas box and to access the safe. I live in a country where it rains pretty much non-stop every single day. So what that means is you're cozy in the van and you're hungry, or like you want a cup of tea or whatever, and it's lashing. Oh great, I have to go get soaked just to turn on the gas for 2 seconds. It's a job that takes 2 seconds, but you have to get out every time. Or like, oh, my laptop's locked away because I'm going for a walk or whatever. Get back, sitting in the van again after taking off my jacket. Feck, need the laptop, have to put everything back on again to get out in the rain. Again, I feel like these things just sound like I'm being dramatic, but they're not. It's just all these little things add up. So by the end of like my stint full time in the van, I was getting so frustrated because all these little inconveniences were a big inconvenience every day. No one wants to get out in the rain multiple times a day just to get something out of a safe or to turn on or turn off the gas. So again, now I'm rearranging it so I don't need to get outside to do these things. It's just not practical in Ireland. Now, if you're in freaking America where it's like 40 degrees in the summer, that's fair enough. You probably want to get out of your van, probably like a sauna. My van's never like a sauna, except in the like 4-day heat wave we get every summer. But other than that, it's not. I don't need to get out to get soaked to turn on the gas. I think I've made that point. But everything, gas, tanks, where you store your water tanks, your waste tanks, where you store your safe, shower, whatever it is, just make sure everything's in a practical location that you can access. because it'll really start to get on your tits, let me tell you. Let me tell you. Okay, that's number 5. Mistake number 6. When I was getting my van, it's tiny. So I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to worry about toilet. At beaches in Ireland, they generally have toilets, or like portaloos. Like if I'm in a town, there's going to be access to toilet. I really didn't think it was going to be that big of a deal. I was like, you know what? I don't have the space for a toilet. So I just went without. When it's 8 o'clock in the morning and you need the toilet, I don't mean a pee, when you need the toilet and you don't have one, and you're like in the middle of a town, or you're like on a wide open beach where there's nowhere secluded around and there's no portaloo, let me tell you, you're gonna wish you had a toilet. You really are. My friend Laura has a similar van to me, and she has one, and I can't tell you the jealousy I would feel when we'd be like together and I'd be bursting and she would be like able to just use her toilet, and I'd have to like just hold it until like 3 hours later when I finally got them with the bathroom. Because again, this might depend on where you are too, but in rural Ireland, which is where I would spend most of my time, toilets are few and far in between. Is that the phrase? Far and few in between? There's not that many. So yeah, that was a huge regret. I've been looking at toilets, but again, I want something really small because the van is so small, and with my new layout, there's going to be less storage than I had before. So I'm definitely interested in getting one now. I think it's pretty feckin' crucial. So I was very wrong about that. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, massive mistake. Can't tell you how many times people said to me, what are you going to do for a toilet? And I was like, I won't need one, it's going to be fine. I was wrong. Let me just say that, I was wrong. You need a toilet. Now, the last point is like little things. So we're going to say number 7 is just little things. For example, I don't have like proper lights in the van. The couple who had it before me had these really cool like little chargeable lights, and they gave those to me. They were so good. They gave me a lot of the stuff that they had in the van already, and I still use those. And then I have fairy lights. I don't have anything like permanent. And again, it's actually fine. I probably won't change that too much. But when all the batteries die at the same time, it's a nightmare, because you're literally from like 10 o'clock at night. So it doesn't get dark till like 10 p.m. in Ireland in the summer, which is great. But like I've been using the van all year round. And when it gets dark in like the colder months at like 6 o'clock, and you're in the van in the pitch black and you can't work, you can't find anything because you have no light, that's a bit of a nightmare. So you don't necessarily need to have wired in lights, because I definitely won't wire in light. I should definitely have some backups for light for when I don't have light. That'd be great. I don't have proper solar panels. So I use a power station and an inverter to plug in all my devices, which has actually been the bane of my existence. Trying to keep everything charged has been a nightmare, because when my power station died, I'd have to go somewhere to plug it in or drive around to charge it up. And it takes a while to charge it when you're driving. So I did get solar panels for the power station, but I've no solar panels or anything to charge up my leisure battery. The only way I can charge that up is if I drive the van. And I really wish I'd come up with a solution of how to keep that battery charged. Because it's just not a great setup, let me tell you. When you're a content creator, you're filming all the time, you need to charge devices, you need to charge drones, you need to edit footage. It's all very like battery consuming, and it's stressful. I'll literally be sitting working, watching the laptop battery go down, watching the power station go down. My fridge fully wipes out my leisure battery in a night. My fridge is not efficient. So battery scenarios are a nightmare. So again, I wish I'd got solar panels for the roof. And I thought, oh, it's Ireland, it's not going to be sunny enough for solar panels. But I was wrong, because again, my friend Laura, my good friend Laura, she has solar panels on her roof. And when we were together, she would be able to keep her fridge going all the time and have stuff plugged in all day. And her solar panels would keep it at a level that it would be okay. I do want to get solar panels. So if anyone in like the UK or Ireland or Europe has good solar panel recommendations, I want to get like strip ones that just stick to the roof, not like a big heavy thing, but something I can just stick down. Let me know your recommendations, please. And then my last little part 7, again, is just like little things. My fridge. The fridge was in the van when I got it. I feel that fridge would be better if you're like driving to the beach for a day, you plug it into your 12-volt plug, and then like when you get home, you're done with it. The problem with this fridge is I need to keep it going 24/7. It kills my battery every night. And then I'm like rushing to like drive so I can plug it back in so the food doesn't go off. It's just not an efficient fridge. So I'm looking at fridges now. I'm hoping to get a new fridge really soon. Though getting an efficient fridge is also a must. That is a huge mistake I made. All my mistakes have basically piled up to the point where I just can't live efficiently with them all anymore. So we're getting a revamp. I need a toilet. I need a fridge. We need more light. Again, nothing huge, but I don't want you to be inconvenienced. So I hope you learned something from these little van regrets, and I hope it helps you with your van build and make it a little bit more practical for you. So I have so much more van content to come. If you have anything particular you want, let me know in the comments. When this renovation's done, we're going to be getting another van tour. I'm actually really excited because it's going to be a really nice layout, I think. So van tour coming. I'm going to do like reviews on a fridge when I get one. To be honest, I'm just going to have a whole summer now of like van content. So let me know your requests. I hope you want to see them. If you do, follow. Please like this video. And I will chat to you after. These mistakes seem really petty now that I'm saying them out loud. Just makes me seem like a bit of a drama queen. Am I a drama queen for wanting efficiency? No. We need a feckin' bin situation here too, because my friends use this van as a feckin' dumping ground. Elizabeth, your smoothie is in here. William, there's so much of your DNA in here.